my wonderful crochet friends. Welcome to my channel. My name is Ashley, and today's tutorial is this very beautiful sun hat I made. It is an easy breezy sun hat. It's actually a very simple hat to make. It is made with pretty much all double crochets with just a few little other extra stitches, but the basic pattern is double crochets with our fillet, chain one, skip one here. So if you look here, the chain one, skip one begins here and it goes down and into the brim here. It's so easy, so pretty. It's perfect for the spring and the summer. I want to give you all a better look of this really pretty hat. So this hat, it is going to be light and airy, so it won't be too hot to wear. I think it's perfect. Perfect for Mother's Day. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers and the grandmothers in the house. And let's go ahead and get this pattern rolling. For our materials, the crochet hook size that we will use, for a size small, you will need a 4mm crochet hook. For a size medium, you will need a 4.5mm crochet hook. And for a size large, you will need a 5mm crochet hook. You will need your basic scissors and yarn needle to weave in your ends. And the yarn I will be using for this pattern is the same yarn in the example on the mannequin. This is Peaches and Cream Classic Cotton Yarn. It is a tougher, thicker type of yarn. It is a number 4 weight cotton yarn. This example right here is the size small. This measures 18 inches in diameter all the way around. The medium size will of course be a little bit bigger, and then the large size will be a little bit bigger than that. So for all three sizes, we will, from start to finish, we will complete the same exact pattern. The only difference is the hook size. Now, if you're the type of person that likes to make really tight, snug stitches when working with cotton yarn, then I would recommend going up 1/2 of a hook size. So if you're a size small and you would like to make tight stitches, then I would go up to the medium size. And also the same for medium and large. So just remember, it is best to use just regular tension and not tight stitches, but if you do like to make really tight stitches, go up 1/2 a hook size. Before we begin learning our pattern, what we need to do first, from the middle of our forehead, we need to take some type of tape measure and measure all the way around our head evenly, from here all the way around. And then, depending on your size, is the size that you will make for your hat. So for a teen/adult small, if your head measures 16 to 19 inches in diameter from the front of your forehead all the way around and back around, then you will need to make the teen/adult small. If your head measures 20 to 22 inches, then you will need to make the adult medium. And if your head measures 22 to 24 inches, then you will need to make the adult large. I also want to add that if you would like to add wire to the edge of your sun hat, once we get all the way down to the bottom of the brim. If you would like to crochet over wire, that does work really well. Also, another alternative is a stiffening spray. If you go to your local store in the laundry department, you will find a variety of spray cans, and you can spray whichever part of the hat that you would like to stiffen. And the stiffeners work really, really well. I've used them in the past for crochet and macrame projects, and I definitely recommend those. Those are really, really nice. But for this pattern here, I have not added any wire or any stiffening spray. So this is just the regular product. To begin, we will need to make a magic ring. Yarn over, pull through, chain 2. For all sizes, we will be following the same exact stitch pattern from start to finish. To begin, we will start with 1 double crochet, chain 1, and we will repeat this a total of 8 times. So for a total of 7 more times. We have 1 double crochet, chain 1, 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 for a total of 8 times. So you should have a total of 8 double crochets. Plus the chain ones. We will pull this yarn tail to close and tighten. And now it is time to slip stitch join. And we need to slip stitch join into that first double crochet chain. So we'll skip these chain 2s. And then right there into that double crochet chain, slip stitch join. For row 2, we will chain 2. In the same chain, we will make 2 double crochets. Chain 1, skip 1, 2 double crochets in the next chain. So we are stacking 2 double crochets on top of the double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, into the next 2 double crochets. We will repeat this pattern all the way around. Now I'm trying to use just regular tension. I'm not trying to make my stitches tight. Chain 1 at the end. We will skip this last chain and slip stitch join. So I need to find that double crochet chain, that first one. And this is what we have so far. So we've created our spiral. And these are our spiral fillets here. For row 3, we will chain 2. In the same chain, we will make 2 double crochets in that same chain. Very next chain, we will make 2 double crochets. So we're stacking 2 double crochets on top of that double crochet, 2 double crochets on top of that double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, and repeat in the next. So we will skip the next chain. We'll skip this next chain and repeat in the next 2 chains. So 2 double crochets here. Two double crochets here. Chain 1, skip 1, repeat. Chain 1, skip 1, repeat in the next 2. And this is what our pattern looks like so far. Go ahead and repeat this pattern all the way around. I will meet you back at the end. For row 4, we will chain 2, and we are basically going to be repeating row 3. So in each of these 4 chains here, of these 4 double crochets, we will place 2 double crochets in each of those 4 chains. So same chain here, 2 double crochets. Next chain, 2 double crochets. Next chain, 2 double crochets. Next chain, 2 double crochets. Chain 1, skip 1, repeat. 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 So go ahead and finish up this row, repeating this pattern all the way around. And once we are finished, I will meet you back at the end of this row. I'm at the end of row 4. I chained 1, and now I will slip stitch join into that first double crochet chain. And now for row 5, we will chain 2. And in each of these 8 double crochets, we will make 1 double crochet in each of these 8 chains. We will chain 1, skip 1, and repeat in the next double crochet. Same chain here, just 1 double crochet. The next 7, 1 double crochet in each. I have 8 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, repeat in the next set. So 8 double crochets across. Chain 1, skip 1, repeat. Repeat. So here's what our work looks like so far. We have our nice spiral fillet here. Kind of looks like a sun or a star pattern. I think it looks really, really neat. So go ahead and finish up this row, repeating this pattern all the way around until the end. And I will meet you back at the end of this row. I am at the end of row 5. I chained 1, skip 1. Now we'll slip stitch join. For rows 6 through 11, we will repeat row 5. So we will chain 2, and in each of these 8 chains, we will make 1 double crochet in each, chain 1, skip 1, and repeat. So go ahead and complete rows 6 through 11, repeating row 5, and I will too, and I will meet you back after we have finished. For sizes small and medium, you will complete rows 6 through 11, repeating what we did for row 5. And for a size large, you will repeat row 5 until you complete row 12. So a size large will get an extra row to make it just a little bit bigger than the small and the medium. I just completed row 11, so this next row will be for a small medium, it will be row 12, and for a size large, it will be row 13. This next row, we will chain 2, and in this very first chain, the same chain here, we will make 2 double crochets. In the remaining 7 chains, we will make 1 double crochet in each. We will chain 1, skip 1, so we will skip the next chain, and into the next we will repeat. So into the next we will make 2 double crochets. So we are just making very small increases at the beginning of each set. So the remaining chains here, 1 double crochet in each. Chain 1, skip 1, and repeat. So go ahead and continue this pattern all the way around, and I will meet you back at the end once I am finished. I'm at the end of row 12 for a size medium. I will chain one, skip one, and I will slip stitch join into that first double crochet. For our next row, which is row 13 for a size small and medium, and row 14 for a size large, we will now chain one. We will insert the tip of our hook, so we will go in from behind and into that same chain there. We're going to loop and go into the chain of the next chain. We will yarn over for a single crochet and pull up and yarn over and pull through two. I do not know what the stitch is called, but I do like to use this stitch sometimes for certain techniques. We're going to repeat this by going into that same chain. This will be the second chain. We just went in through the first chain and then in through the second chain. We yarned over, we pulled through, it went through both of those chains, and then we yarned over and pulled through two loops. We're going to repeat this by going into that same chain we just finished. Then we're going to swing our hook into the next chain. We're going to repeat the same thing. This is kind of like a front post single crochet, but instead of going into the post, we're going in through the chains. So we have two loops on our hook, yarn over, and pull through two. We're going to go back into the same chain we just finished, which is the third chain. And now we're going to go into the fourth chain. So we went into the third and the fourth, yarn over, pull through both, then yarn over and pull through two. Go back into that same chain we just finished, which is that fourth chain. Now we're going to go through the fourth and the fifth. And then complete. And if you look, you'll see that yarn coming from the chain you just finished. You can't really see it when you look through the chain, but if you hold it up, you'll see this yarn is coming from this chain. So I'll go back into that same chain and go into the next one. And then complete. And then if you look, if you just kind of tilt it, it looks kind of like rows of slip stitches almost. So we have rows of chains here, or a row of chains here, and then a row of chains here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've completed 5 single crochets so far. And if you look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what we will do is if you fold this down, you'll still see the chains right here, but then you'll see them right here. Now the ones that I'm folding down right now, the ones that are right here, we're going to go into those later on, and this is going to help to make this brim. I will show you in just a sec. So if you look here, this is the inside, and this looked like this. And then once I finished this whole hat, I clipped my yarn, I weaved in my yarn in, and then I rejoined into this right here. So this right here, which will sit under the hat on the inside. And then we'll come in and we'll join in, and then we'll work across this. You'll see you'll definitely be able to see these stitches. Just stick with me, trust me, you all will be able to find those stitches very, very easily. So let's go ahead and finish what we was doing. So I see here, and I see that strand right there. It's coming from that chain. So I want to go back into that same chain and then into that next one. And then that's all I'm doing, all the way around. Go back into that same chain. And now here I am where this chain 1 is. I want to go into that same chain, and now I'm going to go into that next chain, that chain 1. I'm just going to do the same thing. Go back into that same chain 1. And then into the next chain. And this is really going to make this hat into a hat. This is really going to help to fit around the head better. Doing certain techniques to make it stronger and more like a hat. It's hard to explain. I just know that this really, really works. This technique really, really works at turning this into a sun hat. So let's go ahead and finish doing this all the way around. In each chain to the next. Then going back into that same chain and into the next. Into that same chain, into that chain 1 there. And then hopefully I didn't make my chain 1 too tight. There we go. Back into that chain 1 and into that next chain. And then continue. Go ahead and finish repeating this technique, and I will meet you back at the end for our next step. So I'm at the end here, and I have that chain 1 left, and then I have where we started. So what I will do now, I will go back into this chain 1 from behind. Go back into that chain 1, and now I need to skip this chain 2 here and go into that slip stitch join. So if you see there's like a little notch here and a little notch. So this back here, we are going to ignore these, and we are going to work into these as chains, is what we are going to do. So now I'm going to slip stitch, or actually I'm going to go into that chain 1 and then single crochet. So I'm going to skip this little notch here, which is that chain 2. And if you pull it apart, you'll see like a little bit of light. That is our chain there. So now I'm going to go into that and pop right through, and that looks like a chain. And I'm going to ignore these. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull through for that single crochet. We're going to chain 2 now. And in that same chain there that we slip stitch joined into, we are going to make 2 double crochets. So we'll go right into that and make our 2 double crochets. In the next 7 chains, we will make 1 double crochet in each. And then in this 8th chain here, we will make 2 double crochets. So we will have our increase here and our increase right above this double crochet. So at the beginning and the end of each set, we will have 2 double crochets. We'll pop right in through there and make 1 double crochet. And in this 8th one here, 2 double crochets. Chain 1, skip 1, in the next 2 double crochets. And we will repeat what we just did here for this set, for each set. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the 8th one right here, 2 double crochets. Chain 1, skip 1, repeat into the next. And then this one right here, 2 double crochets. Chain 1, skip 1, and repeat. And that is our pattern for this row. Go ahead and finish this row up, and I will meet you back at the end of this row. I am at the end of row 14 for size small medium, and this would be row 15 for a size large. So we are at the end here. We are going to slip stitch join into that first double crochet chain. We will chain 2 like normal. What we will do now is we will repeat this last row. We will repeat that 4 more times for 4 more rows. So this next row will be row 15 for size small medium. or row 16 for a size large. And what we will do in the very first double crochet here, this very first chain, we will make 2 double crochets. Then in the next 9 chains, we will make 1 double crochet in each. And then in that 10th chain, this last chain for this set here, 2 double crochets. So 2 in the first, 2 in the last, chain 1, skip 1, and repeat. So right here in this very first chain, gets 2 double crochets. The next 9 gets 1 double crochet in each. This last chain here, right before your chain 1, skip 1, 2 double crochets. So we are increasing right here in the beginning of the set and at the end of the set. Chain 1, skip 1, repeat. Same chain, 2 double crochets. Then 1 double crochet all the way until the end of the set, and then that last chain of this set, 2 double crochets. And we will repeat this all the way around until the end, and we will repeat this for 3 more rows. And then in this last chain here, 2 double crochets. Chain 1, skip 1, and repeat. So go ahead and finish this row, and I will meet you back at the end. So here we are at the end of row 15 for a small and medium, and row 16 for a large. We will slip stitch join. In the process that we just completed, we will be repeating this same exact process for the next 3 rows. So we will chain 2, and for each set you see here, we will increase right here in the very first stitch and right here in the last stitch. So 2 in the first chain, then 1 double crochet all along this set, and then in that very last double crochet chain, we will make 2 double crochets in that chain, chain 1, skip 1, and repeat. So for this row and the next 2 rows will be the same as before. So go ahead and finish this row and the next 3 rows, and I will meet you back after we finish those rows. So I'm at the end of row 18 for the size medium, and you should have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of 2 double crochets on each end of each set. And I will slip stitch join. And now this last row of double crochet here, we are just going to do 1 double crochet into each chain for each set. So right here, we'll just do 1 double crochet and just 1 double crochet in each chain all the way around, except for our chain 1, skip 1. We will still be doing our chain 1, skip 1. So no increases, no decreases. Continue with 1 double crochet on top of each double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, and repeat. Continue that all the way around until the end, and I will meet you back, and then we will make slip stitches all the way around the border of our sun hat. So I will now slip stitch join, and our last 2 rows are going to be slip stitches all the way around in each chain. So I'm going to chain 1, and I'm actually just going to skip this first chain. It's not going to make much difference at all, but when we do chain 1, we do need to make sure that it's up a little high so we can get back into it on the next row. So we are just going to skip over that same chain and go into the next, and then slip stitch. And we do not want to make those slip stitches too loose, but then again, we do not want to make them too tight, because our next row we will be working into the slip stitches and making slip stitches. And this is going to give a nice stiffness to the edge of our brim. And we're just going to repeat this all the way around, even in our chain 1 spaces. Now this last row, the row after this one, you can make your slip stitches really tight and snug if you want, because that'll be your last row. And don't worry if your hat feels a little too comfortable or a little too loose, because after we complete these last 2 rows of slip stitches, we are going to cut our yarn, and then we are going to join into right here, like what I talked about before. So you can see there's chains that you can see very easily. We'll be able to get into those so easily. So even if your hat feels a little loose, that's okay, because it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be just a little bit looser than what you would want, because we are going to join into right here. Let's see if I can get this to focus. We're going to join right here. Then we're going to slip stitch going all the way around, and that's going to tighten it in for us. And that's really going to make this brim pop out. So it's really going to make it a sun hat. It's really going to make it look great and fit great and feel great. And just trust me, You'll love it. It'll be great. So let's go ahead and finish making our slip stitches here. So this row right here, I really don't want to make too tight, um, unless you want to. I know making slip stitches into slip stitches sometimes can be a little difficult, uh, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. This next row, though, slip stitches, I do plan on tightening up a bit. Now, here we are at this chain one, skip one. I'm going to go into that chain one chain. So I'm going to go into that chain one chain with the slip stitch and then just continue on in each double crochet with the slip stitch all the way around. It's that easy. And that is what we'll do. So go ahead, finish this row here. I will meet you back at the end, and then we will slip stitch into these slip stitches and finish this off. And then we'll rejoin here. We'll slip stitch around to tighten that in a bit, and then we're good to go. And then you can gift this out to your mothers, your grandmothers, your family, your friends. This is going to be great. I am going to wear mine while I'm outside gardening. That is what gave me this idea. I am starting a really pretty big vegetable garden, and with some fruits too, which I plan on doing update and videos on that also, so you all can kind of get a sneak peek, and see what my garden looks like and my gardening skills are. And but yeah, that's what gave me this idea. I needed a sun hat to block my face from the sun, and I thought, what better gift and pattern to make for your moms or your grandmas or even your kids. So go ahead and finish this row. I will meet you back at the end in just a minute. So I'm at the end of my first slip stitch row here. In that first slip stitch, we chained one and skipped that same chain. So we're just going to go into that first slip stitch and slip stitch, chain one, and now we'll do the same thing. We'll skip that same chain and just go directly into the next, and this will be our last row. So you can make this a little bit tighter if you want. We're just going to go into those slip stitches and slip stitch. We're just going to repeat this all the way around until the end, and then we will slip stitch join. We will cut our yarn. We will weave in our yarn end on the inside of our hat so it won't be seen. And then we will rejoin on that inside part that is sticking out that we talked about earlier in the video. And then our hat will be finished. So it definitely gives us a nice tight edge here. So go ahead and finish up this very last row. I'll meet you at the end. We'll weave in our ends and then we'll rejoin right here and finish off our hat. So here we are at the very end. I'm just gonna slip stitch join. Pull this up. I'm gonna clip it and grab my yarn needle now and weave in my ends. So here I pulled up a loop. I'm just gonna pull this out. And it's gonna create like a little knot right here. So I'm gonna thread my yarn needle. Now I'm going to go back in through this same chain here. It's going to pull that knot through. It's going to pull it right through there. Now I just need to flip it over and work it backwards. So I'm just going to turn it. Now I just need to work it through some threads here. Just kind of hide it. And you can always hide yours just a little bit better or through the double crochets. But now it is time to flip our work over and expose this right here. And you can join in anywhere you like. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to make a slip knot on our hook here. Just a small little loop. I'm going to choose a chain to go into. I'm going to insert my hook, put my little slip knot on there. I'm just going to pull that through and chain one. Now I am just going to go into each chain and slip stitch. All the way around. So I told you you'll be able to find that chain so easily, and you will. I'm just going to move this yarn tail, weave that in once I'm done. But each chain you'll see so easily. We're just going to slip stitch, and it's going to tighten it up. It'll tighten it up some, and then it will fit you perfectly. So this hat's definitely meant to be just slightly loose on you. Until you complete these slip stitches here. We're just going to go all the way around until we are finished. And then we will weave in all our yarn ends on the inside of our hat where they will be hidden. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this pattern and this video. I enjoyed making it for you. Thank you all so much. And don't forget to hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, you definitely should. I make tutorials, gosh, sometimes 2-3 a week. So I'm constantly designing new patterns every day, constantly teaching the tutorials. I love doing this for you all. This is definitely one thing I love doing the most is crocheting, designing patterns, teaching. So I'm almost finished working my way all the way around with slip stitches, making that really nice hat shape. It really pops out that brim and creates like that defined border that separates the top part of the hat and the brim. This right here is definitely the trick to turning this into a sun hat, besides the brim, of course. And here we are, I believe the last 5 stitches. Here we are. And then I will just find that join there and slip stitch join. And then repeat the same process I did for the brim. Now I got this nice perfect edge here. Thank you, friends, so much for watching. I hope you love your sun hat. Hit that thumbs up. I'll see you guys soon with more great videos. Thank you all. Bye-bye.